The quality of raw ingredients is critical to manufacturing and supplying safe, consistent, and reliable products to consumers. One of the ways this is accomplished through a supplier verification and approval program. Supplier controls are a prerequisite program for a Hazard Analysis Critical Control Point or HACCP system. In conjunction with other programs like allergen management, traceability, waste management, and pest controls, supplier controls help ensure the safety of manufactured food products. Supplier verification is the process of checking a supplier's legitimacy, reliability, and capabilities to ensure they can meet business requirements, mitigate risk, and protect the company's reputation. Key steps include verifying official documents like business registration and licenses, assessing financial stability, checking product quality and past performance, and auditing their processes. The key components of a supplier verification program include: verify legal and financial standing. The purchasing organization will request and check official documents such as business registration, incorporation certificates, and tax identification numbers. Assess quality and performance. This is accomplished through evaluating the supplier's product quality by requesting samples for testing. Additionally, reviewing their past performance, tracking record, and obtaining past and current customer feedback to gauge their reliability and ability to meet contractual obligations. Conduct audits. Performing detailed audits to review the supplier's processes, quality control, and overall reliability, especially for critical items or if specific standards like ISO 22000 need to be met. This can involve on-site visits, sampling, and record reviews. And check market reputation and history. Investigate the supplier's market reputation and the history of their owners or directors to identify any potential issues. A competitor analysis can also provide valuable context. The next several slides will provide more details on these processes. Verifying legal and financial standing is important to ensure the company is purchasing from a financially healthy organization. If a supplier is struggling financially, they may struggle to supply ingredients on time or meet specifications. The process of verifying legal standing includes: compliance. Verify adherence to all relevant federal, state, and local laws, including food safety standards, labeling requirements, and environmental regulations. Certifications. Ensure the supplier has necessary third-party certifications and audit their validity, as this is critical for regulatory compliance like the Food Safety Modernization Act or FSMA. Contractual agreement. Clearly define expectations for safety, quality, and compliance in the contract and have a legal professional review it. This includes ensuring the contract addresses potential liabilities like recall expenses. And traceability. Confirm the supplier has robust traceability systems, especially for products on the food traceability list, to facilitate rapid recalls if necessary. The financial standing checks include: financial statements. Request and review the supplier's financial reports, such as the balance sheet and income statement, to understand their financial position and profitability. For private companies, they will need to request these directly. Cash flow. Analyze the cash flow statement to see if the supplier is liquid and how effectively they manage their cash, which can be impacted by market changes. Debt and assets. Examine the balance sheet for liabilities relative to assets, which indicates how much capital is needed to sustain operations. And professional review. If financial documents are complex, consider having a subject matter expert, such as a CPA, review them for a qualified opinion on the supplier's stability. Some key inquiries including asking questions that reveal their financial stability and ability to support your needs, such as their history of on-time payments and any recent changes in ownership or management. This is not a one-time process, as it is recommended that continuous monitoring and interaction with suppliers is important. Some things to consider include: regular communication. Establish regular communication to discuss any needs, requirements, or areas for improvement. Periodic audits. Implement a system of continuous oversight through regular audits to verify ongoing adherence to safety, hygiene, and quality controls. And contract monitoring. For cost reimbursable contracts, request interim cost statements and a monthly breakdown of expenditures along with supporting invoices to track spending. The business and legal documents that should be obtained before and during the arrangement from a supplier include supplier agreement, the formal contract outlining the terms of the relationship, purchase orders or PO, documents detailing specific orders placed with the supplier, invoices, bills sent by the supplier to request payment for goods or services, legal entity registration, proof of the supplier's legal business registration, tax forms, such as a W-9 for U.S. vendors or a W-8BEN for foreign entities, and certificate of insurance or COI, verifies the supplier has adequate insurance. Other important documents can include statement of commitment, a document indicating the supplier's commitment to quality and safety, letter of guarantee, a letter that guarantees the product meets certain standards, country of origin information, declares the country where the product was manufactured or processed, and Prop 65, documentation related to California's Proposition 65 warnings. The purchaser and quality departments should assess quality and performance of the supplier. Some criteria can include quantitative and qualitative measures. Quantitative measures or key performance indicators can include defect rate. Track the percentage of defective goods per shipment to identify quality issues. On-time delivery. Measure the supplier's consistency in meeting delivery deadlines. Order accuracy. Monitor the number of incorrect deliveries or discrepancies in the list of goods and amounts received. Lead time. Measure the average time between placing an order and receiving it. Cost of poor quality or COPQ. Calculate the financial impact of supplier failures, including rework and defect-related expenses. And corrective action requests or CARs issued. Track the number of times a supplier has been formally asked to resolve quality issues. The qualitative and audit-based assessments should include food safety and quality audits. Conduct regular audits to verify adherence to food safety protocols like HACCP, GMP, and relevant certifications. Regulatory compliance. Ensure the supplier meets all regional and international regulatory standards. Material quality and certification. Verify that raw materials meet product and dietary specifications and that quality certificates are provided with each batch. Sustainability practices. Evaluate the supplier's environmental impact and sustainability efforts, which is increasingly important for brand image. And customer service and responsiveness. Assess their communication, fairness, and promptness in providing materials and addressing issues. Some performance management tools to assess supplier quality and performance are supplier scorecards. Use scorecards to provide a clear, data-driven overview of performance metrics to both parties. Performance reviews. Hold regular reviews, either monthly or quarterly, to discuss KPIs, trends, and opportunities for improvement. And technology and software. Use software for real-time tracking of KPIs, risk alerts, and scenario planning to proactively identify and mitigate risks. It is important to lay out the specifications for suppliers. A raw ingredient specification is a detailed document outlining the required quality, safety, and regulatory standards for materials, and typically include the ingredient's name, description, chemical and physical characteristics, composition, and information on allergens, contaminants, and microbiological limits. These specifications are crucial for ensuring consistency, quality, and safety and serve as a critical tool for quality control, risk management, and communication between buyers and suppliers. Specifications are important to both the customer and the supplier because they ensure quality and consistency. Specifications guarantee that the ingredients used meet the required standards for taste, texture, and appearance. Ensure food safety. They help identify and control hazards, including microbiological, chemical, and physical risks. Simplify supplier management. Clear specifications improve communication and make it easier to source from multiple suppliers. Aid regulatory compliance. They ensure that products meet all relevant legislation and standards. And mitigate risk. Poorly written specifications can lead to misunderstandings, quality failures, and safety issues. Supplier audits are conducted to verify that suppliers are producing food in a way that protects public health. Audit criteria should include: maintain quality. Confirm that suppliers meet the quality standards required by the manufacturer. Ensure regulatory compliance. Comply with regulations such as the FDA's Foreign Supplier Verification Programs or FSVP and Preventive Controls Rule. And safeguard the supply chain. Prevent issues like contamination or mislabeling from entering the supply chain. The key components of a supplier reviews are: hazard analysis. Determine the known or reasonably foreseeable hazards in each food product. Risk assessment. Evaluate the risk posed by a food and the supplier's performance to determine the necessary verification activities. And supplier approval. Approve suppliers based on the risk assessment and the supplier's performance. Conduct appropriate activities to verify supplier compliance, which can include: record review. Examining the supplier's records for accuracy and completeness. Sampling and testing. Testing raw materials or finished products to ensure they meet specifications. On-site audits. Inspecting the supplier's facility and practices. An annual on-site audit is recommended at a minimum for high-risk hazards and other periodic timelines for less severe hazards. And corrective actions. Take action if the supplier is found to be non-compliant. Some other considerations for supplier audits, especially for those ingredients that fall under FSVP, include: qualified auditor. Audits must be conducted by a qualified auditor with appropriate experience, training, or education, and with no conflicts of interest. Significance of regulations. Audits must take into account applicable food safety standards, such as those outlined in the Preventive Controls Rules. And frequency. The frequency of audits depends on the risk posed by the food and the supplier's performance. High-risk suppliers with a poor performance record may require more frequent audits. Another component of a supplier verification program is to check market reputation and history. Examples include: client references. Request references from other companies in your industry to learn about the supplier's reliability, quality, and customer service. Industry reputation. Monitor the supplier's reputation through industry databases, news reports, and professional networks. A single product recall due to supplier error can damage a brand's reputation. And online marketplaces, like B2B marketplaces, offer verification services. Food supplier documents include a variety of records that prove product quality, safety, and business legitimacy. Examples of documents include: certificates of analysis, or COA. The information provided confirms that each batch meets specific quality standards. Food safety certifications, such as the Global Food Safety Initiative, BRC, or HACCP plan documentation. Allergen statements and/or matrix. Clearly list all potential allergens present in the product. Specialty certifications. Halal, kosher, or organic certificates, as required. Specification sheets. Detail product information like ingredients, nutritional facts, pack size, and handling instructions. And third-party audit reports. Evidence of an independent audit confirming compliance. Manufacturers who use foreign raw ingredients must have a Foreign Supplier Verification Program or FSVP. A Foreign Supplier Verification Program is a U.S. Food and Drug Administration rule that requires U.S. importers to verify their foreign suppliers are producing food in a manner that is safe and meets applicable U.S. food safety standards. The program ensures that food imported into the U.S. is produced with the same level of public health protection as food produced domestically. For clarity purposes, an importer is defined as the U.S. owner or consignee of the food at the time of entry. This is different from the importer of record who is responsible for customs and duties. Key importer responsibilities under the FSVP rule include: hazard analysis. Identify and evaluate potential hazards, including biological, chemical, and physical, for each food to determine if a control is needed. Supplier evaluation. Assess the risk posed by each food and the foreign supplier's performance based on factors like hazard analysis, experience, illness data, and other information. Supplier approval. Approve suppliers based on the risk evaluation. You must import food only from approved foreign suppliers, although temporary importations from unapproved suppliers are possible if adequate verification is performed. Verification activities. Implement appropriate verification activities to ensure the supplier is producing food safely and to ensure the food is not adulterated and is properly labeled, especially regarding allergens. Corrective actions. Take corrective action for any deviations or discrepancies found during verification activities. Record keeping. Develop, maintain, and follow an FSVP for each food in each foreign supplier, and keep records of all activities. And reevaluation. Reevaluate the food's risks and the supplier's performance at least every 3 years, or whenever new information about a potential hazard or the supplier's performance becomes available. In the food industry, a supplier verification program is important to ensure quality and food-safe raw ingredients as part of the organization's HACCP prerequisite program. We hope you found this training valuable. Please click the subscribe button so you can access additional food sure training videos.